We often think of teaching as a science, but trying to manage a classroom packed with totally unique minds, that is absolutely an art form. Today, we're going to explore how technology is handing teachers a whole new set of brushes and paints to create a genuine masterpiece of learning. So, let's dive right in. And here it is. This is the question that probably keeps teachers up at night. I mean, think about it. One student is totally bored and ready to just leap ahead. Another is really struggling to get a core concept, and you've got a dozen others somewhere in the middle. How can one single person possibly be everywhere at once? It seems impossible, right? Well, this is the core challenge we're going to unpack today. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the challenge of the modern classroom. Then we'll reimagine the teacher as a conductor. After that, we'll look at the tools for orchestration, see the proof in the numbers, and finally, wrap it all up with a big picture takeaway. Okay, so let's really set the scene. In a typical classroom, trying to personalize education is, well, it's incredibly hard. You're constantly juggling. You've got students who are way ahead of the pack getting bored, while others are trying their best but falling behind. Trying to manage all those different speeds and needs at the same time is a truly monumental task. This is where we need to reframe the whole role. I want you to forget the image of a lecturer just standing at the front of the room. Instead, think of the teacher as a conductor of an orchestra. And their baton? Well, it's a whole suite of digital tools that helps them orchestrate a beautiful symphony of learning. This whole idea has a name. It's called digital orchestration. So let's be super clear about what we mean by that. Digital orchestration is really the art of using technology to blend all these different learning activities together. So some students might be working by themselves on a piece of software, while another group is getting that direct face-to-face time with the teacher. The real goal here is to make every single minute count for every single student. I love this quote because it really gets to the heart of it. While a teacher is giving their focused human attention to one small group, technology is basically acting as their clone, guiding another group with personalized step-by-step support. It's kind of like having a dedicated teaching assistant for every single table in the classroom. Okay, so what does this conductor's baton actually look like in practice? Let's get real and look at the specific software and platforms that are making all of this possible. So a classic, really effective teaching strategy is using stations or centers, where students rotate through different activities. Now, technology just supercharges this whole model. One station can be that teacher-led deep dive, while another has students on tablets using apps that automatically adjust the difficulty to their exact level. The results? No one gets bored and no one gets left behind. And this gives you a great snapshot of the toolkit. You've got adaptive software like Wolfram Alpha for totally personalized practice, gamified quizzes like Kahoot for instant feedback and engagement. There are even tools like Class Dojo for behavior management. But honestly, the most critical piece, the one that really ties it all together, is the teacher dashboard. This is the absolute game changer. The teacher dashboard is like having a window into every student's thinking process, but in real time. So instead of finding a mistake hours later when you're grading homework, a teacher can see right on their screen that a student has tried the same problem 3 times and is getting frustrated. They can just walk over and give that little bit of help exactly when it's needed most. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but does it actually work? Let's look at some real, hard data from a case study in a subject that, let's face it, a lot of students find pretty challenging: college algebra. So here's the setup. A community college decided to integrate interactive activities from a platform called Desmos into their developmental algebra classes. Now, these are the foundational classes where students often get stuck and sometimes even drop out. And what was the result? Well, over 3 years, the pass rates in these critical, high-failure classes shot up by a staggering 17%. And that's not just a number on a page. That represents thousands of students who went from being stuck to successfully moving on with their education. It's huge. So how did this happen? This slide just breaks it down perfectly. The old way meant finding mistakes on a paper worksheet long after the class was over. The new way, with that dashboard, meant teachers could see every single student's graph or equation in real time. They could spot a common mistake spreading through the class and just fix it for everyone, right then and there. According to the instructors, the real key was that students were no longer just passively listening, they were actively doing math. And that constant engagement not only kept them focused, but, and this is so crucial, it stopped those tiny little misunderstandings from snowballing into major roadblocks that lead to frustration and, just giving up. Okay, so let's zoom out. What's the big picture here? When you bring all of these pieces together, the ultimate goal isn't just about using cool tech, it's about creating a truly harmonious learning environment for everyone. And the benefits here are just transformative. You can finally balance the pace for every student, from the quickest kid to the most cautious learner. You free up teachers to do what they do best, which is actually teach. You get immediate data to make smarter decisions on the fly. And hey, when students are truly engaged, a lot of those discipline issues just fade away. The whole classroom just becomes more responsive. But, and this is a really crucial point, just buying the technology is not enough. It is not a magic bullet. To get these kinds of amazing results, schools need to make a thoughtful investment not only in the right tools, but also in the training that empowers teachers to really use them effectively, to become those true digital conductors. So we're left with this really powerful question. If technology can give a teacher a real-time window into the mind of every single student, how does that fundamentally change the teacher's role? Do they shift from being just a source of information to being more of an architect of understanding? What does it truly mean to teach when you can actually see learning happen moment by moment? Thanks for exploring this with me.